Very esteemed professional colleagues, a very warm good evening to each and every one of you. We are in the month of May. The weather outside is already heated up. But then the Board of Internal Audit and Management Accounting today brings you versatile speaker and equally versatile council members. I have with me on my left CA Abhay Chhaje, a very esteemed council colleague and a person who is known for his proficiency in the world of audit and accounting standards. And on my right, I have CA Durgesh Kabraji, a Central Council colleague from the Western region, and a person who is known for his acumen in corporate laws, for his acumen in insolvency practice. And on the screens, you have the dynamic personality of CA Charanjot Singh Nandaji, the Honorable Vice Chairman of the Board of Internal Audit and Management Accounting. And we also have CA Sharat Kumar, a popular television personality from the city of Chennai, and a person who is known for his skills in the world of creative world. He is our co-opted member of the board this year. And esteemed friends, the important personality of the day, CA Dr. Shardul Dilip Shah. We very fondly call him Shardul Bhai. The world of internal audit, the world of FEMA knows Shardul inside out. Esteemed friends, I welcome each and every one of you. I welcome Abhay Chhajerji. I welcome Durgesh Kabraji. I welcome Charanjot Singh Nandaji. I welcome Sharat Kumar. And I also welcome Shardul Bhai, and equally welcoming our secretary, a very able and dynamic secretary of the Board of Internal Audit and Management Accounting, CA Aarti Bansalji. Friends, the topic today, which will be dealt with by our speaker, is a very popular topic. I will not dwell into that. There are others who will speak. But before I hand over the proceedings to Nandaji to take it further, we have our audit man, CA Abhay Chhajerji. I request him to, sir, please greet and bless our audience. And with your kind opening remarks, kindly let us know the future in store for us. Over to you, Abhay Chhajerji.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your kind words, P. Rajendra Kumar. The person behind the committee, the chairman of the Internal Audit and Management Accounting Committee, and truly, a most dedicated person. And of course, since I know him, he's kind of an indirect person, an authority in GST. I've been seeing him for last few years, of course, as a council colleague for last more than a year. But sir, doing commendable job in this committee too, as an chairman of Internal Audit and Management Accounting, and of course the vice chairman on screen, Nanda ji, the chairman of DAP, the digital accounting. Excellent work being done under this committee, and a great initiative today, keeping a webinar most important, I would say, and none other than CA Shardul Dilip Shah, who would be speaking on that specific topic which we have kept today on the webinar. I think, sir, it will be an excellent opportunity to every participants, every member who's here today to listen to the experts. And I must congratulate you for this initiative, and of course, number of initiative which the committee has taken, and a lot of webinars been organized, a lot of publications been released, a lot of physical programs have already been initiated. So number of events been organized under this committee, and truly commendable with your efforts, sir, as a chairman, and the entire team of Internal Audit and Management Accounting. Commendable job being done. Of course, Sharat Kumar, you mentioned, is someone we've only seen him in virtual, sir, but definitely would like to see you in person also very soon, given an opportunity. Thank you for being here today for this webinar. And like he mentioned, the audit, of course, internal audit is very close to me. I do statutory audit, but internal audit being very close to me. And I believe the committee has come up with a lot of publications, standards on internal audit, the guidance for members who are in practice, members who are in service. So I think the SOPs which have been developed for last few months, the processes which has been implemented in the systems for various kind of industries, whether it is a large organization, a listed companies or SMEs, all those, the checklist which has already been designed in the internal audit. So excellent work being done. And I'm sure with this webinar today, the excellent speaker of Shardul Shah and being his experience, I'm sure the members, participants would really be benefited, will be enriched with the sound knowledge the speakers possess. And I'm sure this committee would do a lot of such webinars going forward. And I wish this webinar a grand success, and I'm sure many more to come. Thank you, Rajendra Kumar, sir, for giving me this opportunity and inviting me today.
Thank you, CA Abhay Chajerji, for those nice words. In fact, a debonair personality like you on our webcast certainly adds value. Now to our senior council member here, CA Durgesh Kabraji. We joined the council together. He is known for his acumen in the corporate laws. He is the founder, chairman of the Center for Audit Quality, and a person who is affable, a person who is always available for the profession. Sir, I request you to please speak a few words and guide us.
Thank you, respected chairman of the Internal Audit Board as well as Management Accounting Board, the Charan Rajendra Kumarji, Charanjot Singh Nandaji, the Vice Chair of the Board, my colleague in the Council, Abhay Chajed, the other two speakers who are going to guide all the members today, Mr. Sarath Kumar and C.A. Shardul, and all the members who have joined this particular webinar. It's indeed a pleasure to be part of this one, where Rajendra Kumarji, as is told by Abhay Chajed, that he is an indirect person, but hitting directly on the wicket of internal audit and management accounting. And beside that, he is also bowling very well in the IPL season at the Board of Discipline too. So, performing a fantastic role as a true player or true council member in performing his duties. If we talk about Charanjot Singh Nandaji, I think a person who is associated with this board since a very long time. This is his second inning in the council, and he was in the beginning also. And this board has done wonderful work in the Internal Audit Standard Board earlier also, and simultaneously very known for motivating the people, motivating the members, motivating the students across the country. Everybody waits for Mr. Nanda to hear him out. So they get encouraged and motivated. I'm sure that today's the discussion on the subject which is there will be fantastic, will be deliberated by both the speakers, and I'm sure all the members who are attending this webinar will get benefit of it. But let me tell you, friends, internal audit has become more responsible job. The way the state audit is there, it is equally important. You have to have report on the all aspect, and the statutory auditors now need to deal with the internal audit report too in the CARO as well as in the Schedule 3, wherever the reporting is required. So it is not a mere compliance of the company law that internal audit is required to be done, but one has to put his efforts very seriously on the work and do this job judiciously. So it helps the promoters or the entrepreneurs as well as a person performing the job. It's not a job that it only a compliance work. And let me tell you that there are many things which are becoming mandatory nowadays in the institute also for the audit firms. The AQMM has been made mandatory from 1st of April 2023, audit quality maturity model, which is applicable to certain categories of firms who are doing the listed companies audit, who are doing the audit of banks, who are doing the audit of insurance company. However, the branches of these are not included where you are the auditor. But if you are auditor of these kind of enterprises, then you need to comply with the requirement of the audit quality maturity model, and in which level you fall, you have to accordingly put on your website once it is being peer reviewed by the peer reviewer or AQMM reviewer. So the quality is the main thing for all of us. Be a state auditor, be the internal auditor, but the importance for all of us is the quality in performing our assurance services, for which we are known, and I am sure with the knowledge sharing of Shardul as well as Sharadji, I think you will gain something to perform in a much better way. With this, I thank you all for giving me a patient listening, and I thank Rajendra Kumarji and Charanjot Singh Nandaji to give me an opportunity to interact with all of you. Thank you, Ved.
Thank you, Durgesh Bhai, for those nice words. We certainly appreciate your strength in the Center for Audit Quality and the Audit Quality Maturity Model, which is now going to become a talk of the town very soon, and members are going to be put through that. Firms are going to be rated. Will certainly ensure the quality. Now, to the man of the internal audit, who was our mentor, our guide, C.A. Charanjot Singh Nanda. Over to you, sir.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, C.A. Arainder Kumar P., more commonly known as the GST man, a man who has contributed immensely for GST and bringing the council closer to the bureaucracy so that they're able to effectively appreciate our problems and offer plausible solutions. I have two very esteemed council colleagues, Syed Durgesh Kabra, a person par excellence, a man with deep knowledge and sense of contribution to this institute. I know him from the days he was a chairman of the WIRC. Ever since then, at every beck and call of the profession, he's there. May it be early morning or late night, you can always see him deeply involved, engrossed in contributing. And to the right of the honorable chairman is Abhay Hajar. We call him Amitabh Bachchan of the council, who hails from Bhopal, a man who wishes to contribute technically, a person who wants to bring at the forefront solutions, not only for big cities, but for mofussil towns, and not only for members, but students as well. We also have Mr. Sharad Kumar, the famous media personality, and who is the co-opted member of the board, CA Dr. Shardul Dilip Shah, my very old friend, and a person who's a master of the subject, which we are going to discuss today. We also have Madam Aarti, who is the secretary of the board. She's a chartered accountant, and more importantly, she has been involved over so many years. I have been the chairman of so many years, I have myself forgot, and I have seen her always as a secretary, except the initial few years. Arun Kumar, technical support, Vinu, and all professional colleagues have joined to go home more enlightened, putting at rest all the doubts that may have arisen during the course of the professional assignments. Ladies and gentlemen, today's topic is on recent developments and updates in the field of internal audit. Let me very candidly put across one small thing. Internal audit essentially is a management function. And more importantly, it is the sunrise industry of today's times. The more you get involved, the more better is your reporting pattern. The more better you are able to strengthen the control environment, because where the control environment weakens, that essentially is the breeding ground for frauds. So essentially, a total overhaul of the entire system is being taken and being done today. And Shardul Bhai is a man who has gone through all antiques, is a man who has gone through all these levels to create value and worth for contemporary professionals who intend to practice an internal audit. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't speak much. People are eagerly waiting to listen to our very, very esteemed faculty, Shardul Shah. But before that, I would like to give a brief biodata of Shardul Bhai. He is a senior chartered accountant and did his post-graduation from Sydenham College, Mumbai. He also did his LLB from University of Mumbai, postgraduate diploma in security laws for Government Law College, Mumbai. He has also done a certificate diploma course on philosophy with emphasis on Jainism from Mumbai University, and he has completed his PhD on the topic of royalties and FTS. When you see, you find him very young. There is a saying, "Dekhan mein chotan lage, ghaav kare gambhir." So he has with him a great background, a versatile personality, and great experience. He has been associated with the WIRC of ICA. He was a regional council member of WIRC for the term 2007 to 10, 2010 to 13, and 2013 to 16. He was also the secretary of WIRC. He was also the chairman of Vikasa. He is the vice president of Jan CA Federation, secretary of Indo-American Society, secretary of Young National Cricket Club, financial controller of the Cuff Parade Resident Associates. He is also the past president of Kala Gurjari Junior, which promotes art and culture amongst youngsters. He is past chairman of the Finance and Tender Committee of the Mumbai Cricket Association. He is past chairman of Young Entrepreneurs Wing of Indian Merchant Chambers. If I honestly read out his biodata, you will see that the entire time passes on. We can have more discussions on the biodata than on the technical point. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will stop here. I want to speak a lot of things about him, but still, I will stop here and give the rest back to the chairman, Sierra Inder Kumar P, who would take the things forward because we are already short of time and people are all waiting very eagerly to listen to Shardul Bhai. Over to CA Rajendra Kumar, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Naranjot Singh Nanjadi. We have here with us CA Sharat Kumar, who will be moderating this particular session. And I leave the subject in the same safe hands of Sharat Kumar and Shardul Shah. Over to Sharat Kumar, sir.
Thank you, Rajendra Kumar ji. As our Vice Chairman Nandaji put, we have come here for enlightenment. All the members are here for enlightenment on internal auditing and the changes in internal auditing under the dynamic chairmanship of Rajendra Kumar ji. As they said, you are a GST man, and now under ICAI, you are also now the chairman of our board of internal audit and management accounting. And you have your ideas and your approach is really dynamic. And we are all stunned by the way you are approaching the entire subject. And under your guidance, we feel definitely the matter will be taken up forward in this fast changing world of business. I think we are keeping abreast is because of you, Chair. Thank you. And Nandaji, Vice Chairman, as always, our Rajendra Kumar says, you are an expert in this field, and we continue to seek your support in this field and help us and guide us always. And the inputs given by Durgesh Bhai and Abhayji, who is very affectionately known as Amitabh Bachchan, we are thankful for your inputs. We'll definitely take it forward, sir. We'll definitely take it forward. As we all know, internal auditing, our business, because of pandemic and due to the fast changing technologies and in this technical world, business has totally turned around. It has changed. Today, we are also looking at businesses through YouTube, through websites, and how to go about all these things. The internal audit of just getting culminating information on finances and giving profits and losses to the management is gone. Today, because of innovations, we are depending more on technology, information through seminars, through books, through all digital world also, there are a lot of information available. And data, mainly internal auditing is based on data taking from the business. If a chartered accountant or a member who is doing this internal audit, if he is ready to listen to the data that is available in the business, he can definitely read this data, because good things and bad things come only from this data, and how to take out this data from the business in this fast changing world. We have an expert speaker about whom Nandaji has already spoken to us. As he said, even I got his biodata, and after seeing the biodata, I was stunned, because if I start reading this biodata, it will be more than 7 p.m. So I leave it to you, CA Dr. Sadul Shah, because you are an expert in this field. You are a faculty at many areas in income tax, in ROC, and in our ICA. So we are eager. I am also eager to listen, as our members are eager to listen to you. Over to you.
Thank you, Shardul Bhai. Thank you, Sharat Kumar sir, and Shardul Bhai, over to you.
Thank you so much, Chairman sir. Most respected Shri Rajendra Kumar ji, my very dear friend, and I would say an asset to ICAI. And it's really fortunate that under his guidance and under his chairmanship, this committee is being spearheaded. I'm sure Institute will reach a much higher level of competence. Once again, sir, congratulations to you. You are doing amazingly good job for this committee, and I'm sure in days to come also you will be continuing to do good work. And we are very, very proud of you, sir. Respected Shri Charanjit Singh Nandaji, sir, is the Vice Chairman and also one of the most dynamic personalities. And being Vice Chairman of this committee, I'm sure he is adding a lot of value to this particular committee. Also, in absentia, Durgesh Kabraji and Abhay Chajarji, very, very respected council members of the ICI. And we are very fortunate that today 4 council members were present. And this itself shows, Shri Rajendra Kumar ji's dedication towards the profession and, his capability and his driving force. So once again, thanks to all the council members of ICI who are present here today. Respected Shri Sarat Kumar ji, a very, very well-known personality from the South. And, in fact, we look forward for him and seeing him. And sir, thank you so much for being here. And it's indeed my pleasure that you are around and you are moderating the session. And I'm sure your words of wisdom have added a lot of value to all of us. Respected Ms. Aarti Bansal, Secretary of the committee, and a very, very able person to have, to the ICI, who is, this committee is definitely in safe hands. Madam, thank you so much for organizing and helping this particular program. And all the other persons in this committee who are present here, all senior chartered accountants, ladies and gentlemen. A very good afternoon to all of you. And once again, I would like to thank the chairman for his able vision and leadership who have thought of this particular program. And I'm sure all these things or whatever deliberation I'm going to do is definitely going to be useful. And I'm sure this continuous process of learning, which ICI is continuously doing, I think is a great opportunity for us, not only as speakers to learn, but also as listeners. We continuously learn, relearn, and we put value add to our services. The more value added services we give to our clients on an ongoing basis, I think that's where we will be able to differentiate ourselves, and that's where we'll be able to command some respect, and that's where we will be able to bring glory, continuous glory to our profession. Friends, I'm sure you would be aware that ICI is doing tremendously good job, and we must thank the President Aniket Bhai Talati. Under his leadership as the President and under the leadership of all council members, I think ICI is doing tremendously good job. And once again, I would like to thank all my senior council members at ICI to continue to do the good work. And we, as fellow chartered accountant members, wherever we are located, sir, we will continuously follow your ideas. Sir, we will continuously be guided by your leadership, and we will support you in any initiative which you do anywhere in the world. Thank you once again, Rajendra Kumar ji, for this opportunity. And I'm sure in times to come also, we will continuously support you for all your initiatives. Friends, coming back to the subject, I think it is a great opportunity for me to discuss on the recent developments and updates on internal audit. I will be sharing my presentation. During the course of the presentation, if there are any questions, you can put it in the chat box. And we will try to first finish the presentation, and at the end, we will take up the questions. and we will be able to answer all your queries as the time permitting. So I'm just sharing my screen, please. Is the screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, great. So, friends, the agenda for today is obviously we are going to see the background of the topic. What exactly are we talking about internal audit, and what exactly is the something, the scenario behind which why we are needing on a continuous basis to discuss upon the recent developments on the field of internal audit. We will see how internal audit also cast upon all of us a very, very important responsibility that we as chartered accountants have to do our work very thoroughly, and have to do in a manner that we are responsible citizens of the country. At the same time, we give the largest benefit to the clients. So we have to continuously have a balance that responsibility, our authority and responsibility go together. And we as chartered accountants, when we give the best possible advice to our clients, we also are very matured, or we are responsible citizens of the country, and we are having responsibility of the law of the land. Second, we will also discuss, friends, what is the mission of internal audit, what exactly is going to be our foresight whenever we discuss internal audit, what ultimately is our ultimate outcome, or what is our mission while doing this entire process. We will also see how the history and evolution of internal audit has come, and why over so many years. I understand from little bit of research which we did that internal audit actually started in early 1940s, and we are talking about 2023 today, and how over a period of time internal audit has actually evolved, and even today this subject becomes completely relevant and it is important. How the history and evolution of internal audit is even relevant today, and how we see in next decade or next 2 decades internal audit is going to be, that is also something which we will deliberate, and how we as chartered accountants can also leave behind a legacy for our fellow chartered accountants in times to come, that yes, this particular aspect of study is very, very important, and this study will continue to remain important as long as a company is there, as long as an organization is there, and the organization has to work as an institution, meaning thereby people may come, people may go, but the institution, the values always continue, and the entire processes are laid in such a manner that the vision or the principles of the institution always remain rock solid. So we will see how the history and evolution has come of the internal audit, how artificial intelligence solves the various challenges of internal audit. Friends, as you all know, the talk of the town is chat GPT, artificial intelligence, big data, etc., etc. So how today, in today's time, artificial intelligence has actually become an important part of audit, and how artificial intelligence can also solve the various challenges or even identify some of the challenges as far as internal auditor. We will also see the issues of internal audit while doing internal audit. So you all will appreciate, friends, that artificial intelligence has some bit of some of its own bottlenecks, and these are the issues which we have identified, and I'm sure they should be deliberated, and how over a period of time we can not completely eliminate those issues, but how we can reduce it or mitigate it as less as possible, such that the controls which are prevailing in the organization, those controls remain important, and how we can look into it. We will also definitely look into the benefits of artificial intelligence, what has to be done for effective application of artificial intelligence. We will also look into the various examples of AI in auditing. What are the emerging trends as far as AI is concerned, AI and internal audit, or AI and audit, instances of businesses and technology, as they provide to the auditing team using artificial intelligence. So we will also discuss some of these businesses, for example, how the various big fours are using their various AI tools to provide the best auditing practices to the various organizations and the companies to which they provide services. We will also discuss some of the frauds, the recent frauds relating to internal auditors, and we will see how in some of the instances, although internal auditor was taken to task, but we see that it is not always the internal auditor, but always one should remember that the management of the organization or the management of the company is something which one should always look upon to, as far as frauds are concerned, or as far as any mismanagement of the organization is concerned. We will also discuss about can human auditors be always be replaced by artificial intelligence. So friends, you all will agree that to some extent artificial intelligence does help us as far as large data is concerned, large number of bank statements are concerned, etc., etc. But it is not always possible that the complete elimination of human beings is possible. But we will see how a balance or an interplay happens as far as human auditors versus an artificial intelligence. And we will see how over a period of time, what are the various shifts which are happening as far as AI is concerned and internal audit is concerned. So as we all know, friends, since all of us are practicing chartered accountants and all of us have definitely carried out a lot of audit, we all are aware what exactly internal auditor is. However, just to give us a kind of a recap, as far as Institute of Internal Auditors is concerned, I'm sure you all are aware that that is the parent organization, IIA, that is Institute of Internal Auditors. They have defined internal audit as an independent, objective assurance and consulting activity designed to add value and improve an organization's operations. Please let us pause, friends, and look into every aspect which is discussed here. So we are talking about independent. So please remember, friends, although internal audit is a management function, although internal audit at a lot of times the internal auditor is persuaded by the management. However, please remember, like any other audit, it is an independent work to be done. Similarly, it has to be done in an objective manner. That means an objective assurance is required to be given to the management by an independent team of chartered accountants. And it is a consulting activity. Please remember, this entire activity which external person does, a lot of times it is not external, but it is an in-house team of internal persons of various competencies. Then also one has to remember that ultimately it is a consulting activity which is ultimately designed to add value to what the current operations is. So whatever the current operations of the organization is, internal audit as a tool which enhances the overall value of the controls of the organization. Internal audit helps an organization accomplish its objectives by bringing a systematic, disciplined approach to evaluate and improve the effectiveness of the risk management, control, and governance processes. Please remember, friends, the last three words are very, very important. How an internal auditor can look and how he can suggest to improve the effectiveness of the risk management. Today, friends, you all will agree that internal audit has become a risk-based internal audit. So everything is about risk, identification of risk, reduction, or manner in which the internal auditor can suggest to mitigate the risk and how the controls, effectiveness of the controls can be enhanced. And at every point of process, every processes which are there in any organization, the main objective of the internal auditor is not only to identify the risk, but to reduce as much as possible the outcome of the risk. This can be only done by enhancing the controls and also enhancing the governance in the entire scenario. So the internal auditor has to be the entire process has to be very, very disciplined. At most times, this process is done on a regular basis, on a concurrent basis. Sometimes it can be done quarterly, and in some cases, it is also done annually. But in most of the times, it is a continuous process, and this continuous disciplined process means that one has to not only evaluate the current state of affairs, but also has to continuously suggest a better way to the management, to better way to effectively manage risk, because every organization has risk, and this risk, how they can effectively mitigate the risk or reduce the risk, how they can enhance the control, because more and more organizations are becoming technology savvy, and more organizations have lesser and lesser human interference. So we are talking about a scenario where more of machines and more of computers have taken over the entire businesses of the organization. And in this scenario, how, as an internal auditor, you are going to approach this particular topic is something which is very, very relevant. So what are the responsibilities of the internal auditor? As we have already discussed, friends, consistently reviewing the company's business practice. As we discussed earlier also, friends, that businesses over a period of time are continuously evolving, meaning thereby some of the businesses are consolidating. If they have multiple subsidiaries, they are becoming into one company. In case there is a one company, they are diversifying into various areas. For example, someone is going into retail, someone is going on online sales, someone is going into various geographical regions, someone is going into different areas of business altogether. So under these circumstances, as an internal auditor, you will have to look, or you will have to consistently review the company's business practices into each of these segments, whether the segment was separate, whether these segments are consolidated, or whether these segments are geographically located into different areas. Your mindset or your approach to internal audit will also differ to that extent. So you will have to keep reviewing, you will have to continuously update, or you will have to remodel your entire process of internal audit to suit the company's changing business scenarios. You will have to evaluate over a period of time that risk management processes are in place. You all will appreciate, friends, that every organization has to ensure that although there are risks which are present in different areas or different segments of business, each of these segment of business and each geographical segment of business also has a different risk. So risk management, as far as procedures of risk are concerned, to mitigate this particular aspect, one has to carefully see that he has to evaluate those, evaluate whether, as an internal auditor, those risk management procedures are in place. One has to also see whether the same are enhanced and also modified on a continuous basis. Subsequently, one of the responsibilities of the internal auditor is also to check whether these controls are in place, they are effectively in place to protect the organization against any fraud, existing fraud, and also future fraud, if at all the company visualizes the same. And also one has to see whether if there is any theft of the organizational assets or any money. So the idea is to ensure the controls are as vibrant as possible, because you need to have continuous controls to protect the organizations against any fraud and theft of the assets and the money of the company. Because please remember, you are answerable not only to the audit committee, but the audit committee thereafter is responsible to the board of directors, and ultimately the board of directors is responsible to the shareholders. So this is the chain of events, or this is the chain in which reporting happens. And as the internal auditor, your responsibility to the audit committee is very, very important, because you have to work in a manner that is synchronizing with the statutory auditor, because you have to give complete satisfaction not only to the audit committee, but also complete satisfaction to the statutory auditor, which in turn can provide comfort to the board of directors, and ultimately a compliance report can come from them from them to the shareholders, because the shareholders are very, very eager to know whether their money or their assets or their businesses are in right hand. As an internal auditor, one of the important responsibilities is also to ensure that the various laws and regulations of the as applicable to the relevant company are complied. As you all will know, there are so many rules and regulations which every organization have to comply. It is important that at some point of time that you as internal auditor also has to sometimes give a compliance report. And in turn, you may have to take a back-to-back compliance report either from the CEO or the CFO of the organization, because it may be humanly not possible for you as internal auditor to know whether all laws and regulations are complied. Hence, sometimes you may also have to take a back-to-back compliance report from the CEO of the organization. But that does not stop us as internal auditors to ensure or to check whether the most important law or the most relevant law which is applicable to the organization are complied. Please also remember that these relevant laws which are applicable to the company also keep changing on a regular basis. So whether you as an internal auditor are also updated, or whether you are also in touch with their compliance team to ensure that these continuous updation of the rules and regulations, the control systems are effectively modified or they are enhanced to check that all laws are complied. Because you will appreciate, friends, in today's day and age, you do not want to have a scenario that you get a notice from an external agency, or you get a notice from either any of the stock exchanges or even from SEBI to that extent that these particular laws and regulations are not complied. Because today's day and age, you will see there are so many whistleblowers, there are so many external proxy agencies also which act on behalf of the shareholders to ensure that their rights are completely safeguarded. So please, as internal auditors, ensure that you completely are checking the compliances of the various laws and regulations. Another important responsibility of the internal auditor is also to make recommendations on process improvement. Please remember, friends, that in any organization, if one has to grow or one has to be continuously being appreciated, you will have to also be participating in the growth of that organization. And for participation in the growth, you have to also contribute towards the new ideas. You have to contribute towards more effective or enhanced control environment in providing very valuable suggestions on a regular basis. So my request to all the fellow friends, started accountants as internal auditors is to please give continuous recommendations on a regular basis on the process improvement. Also, one of the important missions of internal audit, as we all know, is to enhance and protect the organizational value by providing a risk-based and objective assurance, advice, and insight. This again is suggested by the Institute of Internal Auditors that our mission as internal auditor should be that enhancing. We have to continuously improvise. We have to protect the value, the organizational value at all times, but at the same time, we have to enhance the same, and also we have to do it in a manner by providing a risk-based. So entire concept is a risk-based internal audit, and also we have to provide an objective assurance, an objective advice and insight to the clients. Friends, little bit now we will go to history of the internal audit, because once we know the history, we will also see that over a period of time how this internal audit has actually evolved, and how even as internal auditors today, the entire subject remains relevant, and how this particular topic is come out in so many years, over a period of so many years, and even today it is very, very important. So the need for some of the form of independent verification the need for some form of independent verification to reduce record keeping errors, asset misappropriation, and fraud within a business and non-business organization drive the demand for both external and internal audit. This was again suggested by Institute of Internal Auditors, and as we all know this concept of internal audit is not a new idea. It has progressed from simple audits of financial records to detection of fraud and corruption. Today, internal audit enables the entire organization's governance, resource conservation, compliance, risk management, and data verification and analysis. As we all have seen, friends, that over a period of time, this need of independent verification is become very, very important. And this was done mainly to reduce the record keeping errors done by the organization, and also to somehow reduce the asset misappropriation, remove or reduce or detection of fraud within a business and even non-business organization. As you all have seen, friends, earlier internal audit was very, very simple. But over a period of time, this entire gamut of internal audit has changed over a period of time. And now, not only that, there is some bit of responsibility also cast upon us that at some point, if there is somewhere where we can identify, or even somewhere we can have some direction or clue is possible, then we are also responsible to detect some fraud, if at all, which may happen, or we can also be to some extent a whistleblower. As we all know, friends, it has enabled the entire organization's governance, resource conservation, because as we all know, as far as new age businesses are concerned, resources have become more and more now scarce. Earlier, a lot of startup companies, a lot of new age companies were getting funding, but now it is very, very difficult to get funding as far as new age businesses are concerned. So how an organization can conserve the resources is very, very important. Compliance, as you all have seen over a period of time, are only increasing, and hence as an internal auditor, one has to see these compliances are up to date. Risk management and data verification and analysis have also become a part of the process. Internal audit has evolved because of senior management's need to have a helping hand. You all will agree, friends, that internal audit over a period of time has evolved because more and more now senior management is now getting into a different area altogether, and hence the responsibility or the entire concept of importance to internal auditor has increased tremendously. Internal audit provides the senior management with independent assurance that the organizational objectives are being followed. On a global level, the history of internal auditor is closely connected with the Institute of Internal Auditors. As you all know, this Institute of Internal Auditors was started in the United States in 1941, and now today is the driving force, or it is something which we all look forward or look upon as for guidance of various standards and also future practices. As you all know, the IIA is the global body that issues the standards as well. As you all have seen, friends, that historians have traced the roots of internal auditing going back to various centuries ahead, as merchants verified the receipts for grains which were brought to the market. So what we are seeing here, friends, that this concept of checking or verification of records has gone back to years or centuries before as well. The real growth of the profession of internal audit actually occurred in the 19th and 20th century with the expansion of corporate businesses. As businesses grew and they become bigger and bigger, and they've diversified into various sectors or areas, that's where the concept or the importance of internal audit became more important. The demand for internal auditors grew for systems of control in companies conducting operations in many locations and employing thousands of people. So as the businesses grew, as the systems had to be put in place, someone had to continuously verify these systems, and that is where our history of internal audit also has come over a period of time. Many people associate the genesis of modern internal auditing with the establishment of Institute of Internal Auditors, and 1945 made a major turning point as a major book on internal auditing was also authored there. Now, friends, we will also see the evolution from history, how it has come. So, as a voice, we see that the various areas where the internal auditor should practice, or how the future practice also is going to come, is being voiced generally by the Institute of Internal Audit. And IIA is the internal audit's global voice, and it is recognized authority, acknowledged leader, and is the chief advocate and the principal educator also globally as far as Institute of Internal Auditors is concerned, and how internal audit is also evolving. The members work in internal auditing, risk management, governance, internal control, information technology audit, education, and security. As you all know, friends, internationally, as far as United States is concerned, one of the biggest trigger in USA was the bringing about of an act which is called SOX Act or Sarbanes-Oxley Act. Very importantly, this act was brought into place in 2002. It was a response to the various major global accounting scandals such as Enron, WorldCom, Adelphia, Tyco, and many, many more. This particular act, which came about in 2002, internal auditors have been now bringing their hands over their role in assuring the compliance with the complex law. The SOX law was passed by US Congress to protect the public from fraudulent or erroneous practices by corporations or by other business entities. This act, SOX Act, was named after Sarbanes and Mr. Oxley, these two congressmen who drafted the act. The goal of SOX is mainly to protect the investors by improving the accuracy and reliability of corporate disclosures. The data security framework of SOX compliance can be summarized by 5 primary goals. First is to ensure financial data security. So data security, data is present in every company. To ensure that the financial data is maintained securely in every organization is the most important aspect of SOX. Second is to prevent malicious tampering of the financial data. So we are talking about the security of the data. And second is we are talking also about to prevent any malicious tampering of that financial data. Third is to track any data breach attempts and also any remediation efforts. To avoid any kind of data breach is also something which SOS has talked about. Keep log events readily available for auditors, and also to demonstrate compliance in a 90-day cycle. So these are some of the goals of SOX. You all will also appreciate, friends, now ESG has become very, very important, and how sustainability auditing is also finding very, very important place as far as internal audit is concerned. ESG, as you all know, friends, is environment, social governance, and ESG now issues have become increasingly relevant for all organizations. And companies are understanding that businesses embracing ESG are best able to attract loyal customers, and they are also being able to raise adequate capital. Internal audit in particular, especially in companies of ESG, are very important, and they can play a critical role in providing objective assurance and advice on ESG reporting and sustainability matters more broadly. So these both topics are becoming more and more intermingled, and more companies are becoming prone to ESG. They are getting into ESG, and now internal audit in this field is becoming more and more relevant. Internal audit can support the management in answering various questions. So first and foremost, there is identification of the queries, identification of the questions, and identification where controls have to be put in place as far as ESG is concerned, and how we as internal auditors can play a very, very important and critical role in mitigating, if at all, any risk in those controls of a ESG related company. So what are we going to check? Do we have a clear view of all the ESG risks and opportunities, including any compliance risks relating to existing or any upcoming regulatory expectations, and those which are regularly being reassessed. So internationally, as you know, SEC is present, and India also, SEBI has various guidelines as far as ESG audits are also concerned, and whether there is a clear view as an internal auditor of identification of the various risks and what are the opportunities, including any compliance risks relating to or existing upon any regulatory expectations. Are we as internal auditors prepared for these upcoming legislative and regulatory expectations? So are we continuously seeing ourselves, or are we keeping a continuous update on what the SEBI is suggesting, or what the Ministry of Corporate Affairs is suggesting, or we as a nation, how we are updating ourselves to the various legislative and regulatory expectation as far as ESG is concerned? The internal auditor will have to look into it. Whether the internal auditor has a proper ESG culture and risk management that goes hand in hand with the ESG goals and strategies of the organization. This is something that the internal auditor will have to look into, and he as the internal auditor will have to see whether the compliances are in place and whether he provides any value add to improving or enhancing the control mechanisms. What are our ESG public commitments today, and do we have policies, procedures, controls, and data to support these public commitments? So the internal auditor will have to introspect on this aspect and throw light to the management to the extent it's possible. There have been few changes at the conceptual level, but many changes are there in the auditing practice. As you all will appreciate, friends, the internal audit was primarily a quality control function within the controller department or within the organization. Modern internal auditing is now characterized by the provision of internal control and internal consulting services to the management. The concept of neo-modern internal auditing, which was established in 1986, views internal auditing as a function, as a center of relationship between the board of directors, outside auditor, top management, and operating management. So what has happened over a period of time? The role of internal auditor has actually changed into a manner in which there is continuous relationship, or there is intermingling of expectations and delivering those expectations between not only the internal auditor and the company, internal auditor and the auditing committee, between also to the statutory auditors and also to the board of directors. So this continuous evolution of relationship has actually happened. During the Roman era, in early times, the ruling emperor would appoint a team of trustworthy individuals with a proven finance acumen as quaestros. The quaestros were assigned the responsibility to visit different provinces of the Roman Empire to verify that the governors distributed the allocated money correctly, the assets were being safeguarded, taxes were properly collected and repatriated back to the royal treasury, and to provide an overall assurance that there was no fraudulent activities. So we are talking about, from time immemorial, there has been a continuous requirement that there has to be a system or a control in place. King Darius appointed his trusted associates as his intelligent agents called Amails, the eyes and ears of the king. In the 6th century BC, King Darius I of ancient Persia built and established an administrative and financial capital in the city of Persepolis. The affairs of the provinces were run by provincial governors, which were known as satraps. To ensure that the elected satraps were running the provinces properly, King Darius appointed his trusted associates as his intelligence agents called Amalis, the eyes and ears of the king. The Amalis were given the authority to carry out independent investigation through checks of financial and operational records and reported back to the king with their observations and findings on a regular basis. So you can just imagine, friends, that this concept of checking and doing independent investigation have actually happened so many years before as well. Even today, friends, this concept becomes relevant and important because there are so many instances that have raised questions, that have raised eyebrows. A recent development, as you all know, is in the case of BharatPe. As you all know, in BharatPe also, the board has now appointed independent persons for example, Alvarez and Marshall, to conduct an independent audit to bolster the internal processes and systems. This has come because one of the directors went on a voluntary leave, and his leave from the fintech firm came on the back of an audio clip of his explicit laced tirade, which surfaced on the microblogging site Twitter. So you all will appreciate, friends, over a period of time, even today, for example, this particular fintech company, BharatPay, is gone through a lot of turmoil. And unfortunately, because of one particular director, this entire company's image has been tarnished. And because of tarnishing of this image, the board of directors has now decided to come out with a public release to say that the highest standards of corporate governance is something which has to be maintained, and because of which an independent audit of the company, which will discuss or which will ensure that the company's internal processes and systems are verified. And this particular company is also going through a big turmoil, and they are trying to ensure to protect the interest of all the stakeholders, including the customers, employees, partners, investors, etc. And what we are seeing that even today, that because of some reasons, internal audit in even such companies becomes very relevant. So they recently, BharatPay appointed Mr. Rahul Bhatia as the head of internal audit, and although some of the promoters are saying that they are becoming IPO ready, because ultimately IPO is something which every fintech company or any startup company wants to visualize. At the same time, it has to ensure that at all costs, the data privacy, the cyber security, corporate governance, and all compliance are given the highest priority. So this at no point of time or any point of time cannot be given a something which can be sidelined. And this is something which also is seen in this case. As you all are aware, friends, this gentleman is now booked in a multi-crore fraud case. The EOW of Delhi has registered a case against him and his wife for a fraud which was committed last year, and also some of the relatives are involved, and also his family members are involved. And the allegation is that he and his family misused the company's funds through various forged documents, and because of which this FIR has been launched. And the FIR claims that the embezzlement of the funds came to light only after the company carried out the thorough internal investigations. So they are saying this particular amount was received by creating, or this amount was generated by the director by making various fake invoices. And this actually happened when the wife of the director was one of the joint director, and also various family members are involved. Agriculture is another important aspect, friends, and the agricultural department is now revamping the various internal audit mechanisms also in the country. And various agribusinesses, owners, managers, and supervisors and workers would have to participate in an audit of some variety. They are known for being time-consuming, tedious, and complex. Audits just don't aid the assurance schemes and certification bodies. They are management tools for the farmers as well. So as we see that internal audit has become more and more important for farmers. But what is the purpose of an internal audit for farmers? Many farmers may have a negative perception of audit because they feel that internal audit is bad. They slow us down. There is nothing to gain from completing an internal audit. But as you all know, friends, it is just not true. Internal audit is actually an opportunity for the farmers to identify areas for improvement, allowing the farmers to obtain finances better. In fact, it also helps sometimes to the farmers to identify the various incentives and schemes which are offered by the state and the central government, and also to grow their agricultural businesses and reduce costs. They actually allow the various agri-businesses. Now what has happened, friends, incidentally, a lot of startups are into incidental agricultural businesses, And that is why, as a chartered accountant or as an internal auditor, we can continuously help and guide them to complete or to help corrective, to give them a corrective advice for their actions prior to any incident, if at all it happens, or also to protect their workers, minimizing the manual efforts, and also demonstrating the various CSR or the corporate social responsibility. But as an internal auditor, one has to check what is implemented, what is working as intended, and what one has to be prepared to make the various changes. Friends, you all will appreciate that internal audit is also become very, very important and relevant as far as startup companies are concerned. Nowadays, India has become one of the finest or the best places to work as far as startups are concerned. And you all will appreciate that small business, to become big, you have to continuously be competitive. And to do that, you need to know that your businesses, and you need to know what are your risks. You need to identify the areas where improvement can be made, and also devise a plan for implementing those improvements. So internal audits are one of the best ways to achieve all these goals of the startup companies, and they are something which every entrepreneur and every person as a startup should consider before implementing in the company sooner or later. Now that a startup company knows the benefit of internal audit, it is very important for them to start at the earliest. A startup company can start by investing in basic training of the staff so that the employees know how to complete an audit independently and how they can actually improve the overall control mechanisms in the organization. Improving the operational efficiency. As you all know, according to the Gallup State of Global Workplace, lost productivity costs businesses more than 7.8 trillion US dollars. So what internal audit can actually do is to improve this official operational efficiency of the various companies. The internal audit as a process, as you know, is the process of evaluating the effectiveness of the systems and processes within the organization to identify the potential opportunities for improvement. By regularly performing internal audits, also the organization will be able to identify areas where the businesses can be more efficient and how the businesses can make changes that will help maximize their profits. As you all know of TASMAC, that is Tamil Nadu State Marketing Organization. So to enhance the transparency, this particular organization will be now hiring firms for conducting internal audits. A lot of opportunity for chartered accountants in various state and central government organizations. And now auditing firms comprising of chartered accountants and experts in the field of internal audit and other accounting staff will also conduct internal audits in all these retail vending shops of the company. So this is one particular example or illustration, friends, where there is so much professional opportunity available as chartered accountants in the field of internal audit, which is continuously being evolved, and the state and central government also gives opportunity to us. A senior official from TASMAC has said that the selected firm of internal audit will ensure that the audit team should also consist of a minimum of 4 semi-qualified assistants for auditing a maximum of 120 retail vending shops with 15 days per month. At present, there are about 5,300 liquor outlets across the state. So this is one such example where we are finding that opportunity is huge. Audit in the liquor shops include checking the cash and the stock register, stating that all the audit reports which were done in the liquor outlets will be submitted for TASMAC for further action. So there are so many stores across the state, and special audit report will also be submitted within 24 hours upon detection of any major irregularity in the course of internal audit. It is suggested that internal audit firm will begin in its work in the new year. So again, huge opportunity is suggested that we have to keep our eyes and ears open, and whenever such opportunity comes, please do grab it and try to take advantage of the same. Another example is in what we are finding, that internal auditors are also going international. So outside India also, there are a lot of opportunities to internal auditors. One of these opportunities is, for example, of the Office of the Gas and Electricity Market of UK. It has forced the UK energy companies to also have the internal auditors. Energy suppliers should be required to have internal audit functions to limit the risk of a repeat of wave of collapses that has cost United Kingdom household billions of pounds. That is been urged by the regulator of the gas and electricity market. Internal auditors are now being hired by companies to identify business risks ranging from financial to cyber security or even other operational risks, and independently assess how they are managed. An absence of such experts was not the main cause of energy companies failing to administration. That is what the chief of internal audit person has said. But it may have meant that they are not sufficiently and effectively getting independent assurance on the business critical risks, including energy market exposures, financial and liquidity risks. Friends, what is the future of internal audit? As you all have seen in the past few slides, how internal audit has actually evolved and what the history is, the future of internal auditor is also there. According to the history, our cave-dwelling predecessor, the Netherlanders, went extinct for a reason they could not adapt to the changing environment. Let us see that what is the future. I strongly believe in the future of internal audit, very bright future. If internal audit team can embrace data and technology skills as being critical for the success. So we as internal auditors have to embrace the change, and we have to see how we can manage the data, how we can effectively, the data can be scrutinized by us through the technology skills, because this is going to be critical for our success. It must also teach some of the historical practices and the way of thinking. We have to just forget about the historical practices, the historical manner in which we used to do our audit. Because now we have to differentiate how the businesses are done in today's time and how in today's time we can adapt to the changing environment. The changing environment consists of big data. Big data is a term that describes large, hard to manage volumes of data, both structured and unstructured, that date businesses on a day-to-day basis. But it's not just the type or the amount of data that's important. It's what the organizations wants to do with that data. It is what that matters. Big data can be analyzed for insights that can improve decisions and give better confidence for making improved, enhanced strategic business moves. Since artificial intelligence and automation, they are used in big data, large volumes of data are processed to provide auditors with great insights. For example, auditors can make decisions based on review of previous cases regarding non-compliance and fraud. So this is very important. As auditors, we can make decisions based upon review of the previous cases regarding the non-compliances and fraud. Auditors are also up to date with the latest policy decisions. Auditors are also being able to red flag. We need to do continuous red flagging in time and also perform accurate audits. The auditors are able to set up controls and leave the automated systems to take over while they sit back and determine whether a company is following the established guidance or guidelines provided. So big data has now become very, very important. Going forward, friends, artificial intelligence is now going to solve various challenges of the internal audit. Internal auditor today, friends, are faced with challenges of evaluating thousands of documents and contracts that they have to do while relying upon sampling. Internal audit techniques can be transformed with machine learning, lending to increased productivity and increased accuracy. Some of these checks can be automated with the help of algorithms, allowing auditors to focus on tasks which are more suited to human cognition. It can help auditors. Artificial intelligence can help internal auditors by taking care of unexciting and time-consuming tasks. How artificial intelligence can solve challenges of internal auditors. Some of the advantages of the use of artificial intelligence in internal auditing can be as follows. First, friends, artificial intelligence can help collect data collection and also analysis of the various reports. It can also help analyze large reports. It can also throw insights into the various outcomes of those large reports. It can definitely be an error-free auditing environment because everything is systemized and also automated, speeding up the entire internal auditing process. Because as you know, time is the essence. And every 3 months or quarterly internal audit report has to be provided to the auditing committee. Improved coverage and efficiency. Your entire coverage of internal audit can be absolutely, the spectrum can be from end to end. So this is definitely possible with the help of artificial intelligence. Aid for internal auditors. So this is a very, very important tool or a help to the internal auditors. However, one must remember while using artificial intelligence, there are obviously some of the issues which one needs to keep in mind. One of the issue is ethical issue. To what extent it is ethically correct to use artificial intelligence? What is the hazards to data security? What does little human control mean to the entire system? Lack of transparency, integration issues. So these are some of the issues as far as AI is concerned. Now we will go into each of them. What about ethical issues? For example, artificial intelligence may be trained to give some data or information more weight than other data or information, which could inject biases into the audit processes. So sometimes if we do not give proper parameters, the data can be skewed. Using artificial intelligence to replace human auditors may also raise concerns since it may lead to job losses, especially in a country like ours, friends, when there is so much youth available, whether over a period of time using more and more computers and softwares, how are we going to create employable youth of the future? Hazards to data security. Because of artificial intelligence requires a lot of data to work, there is a chance that there might be a breach of data or some other security concern. This is definitely being possible. Artificial intelligence may also be used to access sensitive or private data, which might be dangerous for the firm or for the people involved. So there are chances that artificial intelligence could lead to a data, access of data being shared as far as sensitive data is concerned. This was one of the allegations, or this was one of the issues as far as ICICI Bank is concerned. They definitely, there was a news recently which was published that more than 3.6 million bank files comprising of the bank and its clients' information was leaked from a publicly accessible cloud storage bucket, which was managed by DigitalOcean, a New York-based cloud service provider. The purported data leak, according to the research-based online publication, resulted from the miscongrification of the bank system that exposed the 35 lakh records. The leaked data comprised of bank statements, credit cards, KYC information, date of birth, addresses, phone numbers, email IDs, and personal identification documents such as PAN card information and scanned passport copies of the customers. However, ICICI Bank has denied a report of such customer data leak and termed the report as baseless and mischievous. The response from the bank was that there was no evidence of data leak. Meaning thereby, friends, what we are saying is whether it happened or not happened, it is open for, it is actually possible that it can happen because there's so much of access of information out there on the cloud, and this is actually being possible for anything and everybody which has actually having access to customers' data. Little human control. The minimum human control of artificial intelligence in audit is another possible disadvantage. While artificial intelligence is capable of automating many operations, it cannot make decisions or determine the subjective nature of certain tasks. So whenever subjectivity comes into play, AI has a drawback. This implies that there is a danger of mistakes or omissions that may not be noticed without human inspection. Lack of transparency. Internal auditors may find it challenging to completely comprehend how the artificial intelligence is making judgments due to the complexity and difficulty of the AI algorithms. It may be challenging to spot the biases or inaccuracies in the internal auditing process as a result of lack of openness. So lack of transparency is something which is again a challenge as far as artificial intelligence is concerned. Integration issues. For instance, businesses could need to spend money and time on the new technology or systems to enable the artificial intelligence. Further, ensuring that artificial intelligence is integrated with the current internal audit procedure and systems, as well as educating auditors to utilize artificial intelligence successfully, may also provide various hurdles. So integration issues will always remain. The more tech smart the auditor is, the more smart the internal auditor will become. For optimizing audit planning and business environment opportunities, smart technologies are most important. As the race to create value heats up, post the COVID pandemic, internal audit teams will have to increase their business deliverable game. The scope of internal audit in applying three magical words is assurance, advice, and insight. This can be expanded further with the adoption of the more intelligence technologies. The benefits of artificial intelligence, as we all know, friends, is that it provides many benefits for internal auditing, especially that include improving workflow and also the efficiency and also minimizing the risk. Using artificial intelligence to do entire population testing before the related process is digitized and automated should not only be more effective at catching and preventing fraud, it should also help find and correct the processes they are doing harm. So this is again a very positive step as far as AI is concerned. Further benefit of artificial intelligence is in a quick and ever-changing world of technology. Artificial intelligence is an effective tool being adopted quickly into many companies to improve the work environment and lives of many people all over the world every day. What has to be done for effective application of AI? First and foremost, internal auditors must understand exactly what the artificial intelligence can do and what it cannot do. This involves being aware of the artificial intelligence understanding the underlying algorithm and model framework, as well as its cognitive and decision-making constraints. One has to make sure that the data is accurate and reliable, because whatever data you want to process, it has to be very, very accurate. The accuracy and dependability of the data being evaluated determines how successful AI is at auditing. It is crucial to make sure that the data is correct, comprehensive, and pertinent to the internal audit process. This may necessitate the use of data cleaning and data validation technologies. We need to create relevant models and algorithms. The efficient application of artificial intelligence in internal audit depends upon creation of adequate models and algorithms. This entails choosing relevant data inputs, designing appropriate models, and putting these models through the testing and validation process. Ensuring results are transparent and comprehensible. It is critical to make sure that the outcomes which are produced by artificial intelligence are transparent and comprehensible. This includes the capacity to clearly articulate the reasoning behind the decisions made by AI and to be able to trace those decisions back to the underlying data and the algorithms. Identify and address any ethical and privacy problems. Any such problem that may arise from the use of artificial intelligence in internal auditing, particularly those that relate to the use of personal data. Putting in place suitable protections and controls including data anonymization and encryption, is crucial to allowing these worries. Because sometimes data is very, very critical, and those private data is something which you do not want to play mischief with. Create suitable training and support. The effective application of artificial intelligence in internal audit requires appropriate training and support for the staff of internal auditors. To guarantee that artificial intelligence is being utilized properly, this may involve training to the staff of internal audit team on how to use the tools and techniques of artificial intelligence, as well as continuous assistance and feedback. This is a continuous process of training and support. Encourage cooperation and communication. Cooperation and communication between internal auditors, IT specialists, and other stakeholders are essential for the efficient application of artificial intelligence in internal auditing. This ensures the capability of exchanging information and ideas, as well as cooperating to resolve any current or future problems or challenges that may develop over a period of time. As internal auditors have to make sure that the use of artificial intelligence in internal audit is a responsible, effective, and efficient manner by adhering to the global best practices. As we have already discussed, friends, the emerging trends in internal audit are artificial intelligence, soft controls, and company culture, a holistic approach to the third-party risk management. As AI has been a swiftly accelerating trend across most areas of businesses in recent years, and as such brings risk and challenges to overcome along with the benefits. Internal audit has already proved its worth in helping to integrate governance, controls, and risk management across automation initiatives during digitalization, transformation, or change management processes. This trend is only likely to become even more prevalent for internal auditors as more and more organizations of all shapes and sizes and sectors initiate the automation programs. Soft controls and company culture. Company culture is becoming an increasingly important subject to many organizations and has been pinpointed as an important part of any company's talent attraction and retention strategy. When top talent is in scarce supply, company culture and employee satisfaction should be a top priority for all. Internal audit has recently positioned itself as a center of company's culture by providing assessments of the company's values and purposes. Soft controls will continue to be experimented with to provide further assurance of the effectiveness of a company culture. A holistic approach to third-party risk management. Internal audit has had a greater focus on assessing third-party vendors' means to support themselves with a robust framework in place should there be future disruptions to supply chains. Beyond contract management, internal audit will examine the proficiency of remodeled supply chains and assess the risks they pose. So some of the examples of artificial intelligence in auditing are data analytics, natural language processing, predictive analysis, robotic process automation, and machine learning. Data analytics. What is data analytics? Data analytics is one of the primary uses of artificial intelligence in internal auditing. Large financial data sets can be analyzed using AI to spot patterns and trends that human auditors would find it challenging to spot. AI may evaluate financial accounts, for instance, to spot suspected fraud or other red flags. Natural language processing. Natural language processing is another use of AI that can speed up and improve the effectiveness of auditors' review of contracts and other legal documents, identifying the possible compliance problems or other hazards associated with legal and regulatory requirements may also be done using natural language processing. Predictive analytics. Predictive analytics, which uses AI, can assist auditors in seeing possible risks or problems before they arise. Predictive analytics, for instance, may be used to spot future problems with financial reporting or revenue recognition. Robotic process automation is another way that AI is used in auditing. Data inputs and report generations are examples of repetitive jobs that may be automated with RPA. This can help auditors, internal auditors, to do their work more quickly, efficiently, freeing them time to focus on more complicated duties. Machine learning. In internal auditing, machine learning may be used to spot possible risks or problems, as well as to create prediction models that can assist internal auditors in spotting problems before they arise. The use of AI in auditing offers the potential to raise quality, audit quality, boost productivity, and save expenses. The use of AI in internal auditing may have certain potential downsides, such as ethical issues, data security threats, and also the introduction of biases. Some of the instances of businesses and technologies that they use to provide internal audit teams using AI. For example, in Deloitte has created a machine learning powered auditing tool called as Argus that leverages financial data analysis to find possible risks and problems. A few audit processes such as sample selection and testing may be automated using Argus. EY, Ernst & Young has created machine learning powered auditing tool called EY Canvas that analyzes financial data to spot possible risk and inefficiencies. Automating certain audit processes such as data input and reconciliation is also possible with EY Canvas. PwC provides a variety of AI-powered auditing solutions such as Hello Analytics platform, which analyzes financial data and looks for possible risks and problems using machine learning and algorithms. PwC also provides tools and evaluates unstructured data, including contracts and social media postings using NLP and data analytics to spot possible risks and problems. Fraud relating to internal auditors. This was one such example. I'm sure there are many more, and we will take up the few instances of such cases. The ED, as you all know, have arrested Anil Khandelwal, the CFO of Cox & Kings, in connection with this particular fraud. As per reports, the ED has also took into custody the internal auditor of this company. The ED investigation has found that Cox & Kings has forged the consolidated financial statements by manipulating the balance sheets of overseas subsidiaries and also some board resolutions submitted to banks for sanctioning loans. Loans sanctioned to the group companies were diverted through non-existing companies, subsidiaries, and related parties. In case of this investigation, ED has detected anomalies between bank transactions and books of accounts. The investigations have revealed that all loans sanctioned by Yes Bank to Cox & King groups were under the instructions of the lender, the former CMD, who allowed the loan sanctioning by bypassing the various norms or the various controls. While loans to Cox & King's group continued to be sanctioned, no efforts were being made to recover the money. Total loan given to the group by Yes Bank was at approximately 3,600 crore, and further investigation revealed that sales of this to 15 non-existing or fictitious customers were there from 2014 to 2018. Majority of collections shown in the lenders from EasyGo was not found in the bank statements. There were 15 high-value fictitious debtors in the books of accounts, and another 147 customers also appeared to be suspicious and non-existing. Earlier in the day, I am sure you would be aware that Globally, WorldCom accounting scandal was very, very famous. As you know, friends, WorldCom accounting scandal was one of the most financially costly in corporate history, ultimately involving almost $4 billion of accounting fraud. In 2001, WorldCom began to fraudulently inflate the earnings reported on its profit and loss statements. It did so by manipulating the financial data in the income statements, balance sheets, and various filings and annual reports. The CFO at the time of the scandal used illegal methods to spread billions of dollars in operating expenses across several property accounts, which are a kind of capital expense. This extended expenses for the years, allowing for the company to inflate the revenue by almost 3 billion and report a 1.4 billion profit rather than a loss. Internal audits initially brought the WorldCom fraud to light. Cynthia Cooper and a team of internal auditors at the company discovered unusual entries by WorldCom's wireless division. The company eventually declared bankruptcy, causing billions of dollars of shareholders' money. Another scandal, as you all know, friends, is of Enron. One of the most publicized and famous accounting scandals involved Enron Corporation, an American energy giant, and also Arthur Andersen, formerly one of the big 5 accounting firms. Enron used the accounting loopholes to hide billions of dollars worth of debt. Their auditors from Arthur Andersen issued unqualified opinion on Enron's financial statements, even though they were aware of the misstatements. This led to the bankruptcy of Enron and ultimately also dissolution of Arthur Andersen. In the Enron scandal, more strict accounting standards were instituted by harsher punishment. And thereafter also, as you all know, SOX came into play. SOX was put into place. The SOX Act increased the penalties from destroying, altering, or fabricating financial records in federal investigations or even deceiving shareholders. As you all are aware, also Lehman Brothers accounting scandal was there. Lehman Brothers accounting scandal demonstrates the devastation that can result from a seemingly minor change into our accounting standard. In 2001, Statement of Financial Standard number 140, creating an accounting loophole referred to as RIPO 105. The loophole allowed Lehman Brothers to conceal just how highly leveraged the investments were. After Lehman Brothers collapsed, the focus fell on the auditors, EY, for failing to detect the bank's misuse of RIPO 105 loophole to disguise how much of its finances were leveraged. In 2013, EY agreed to pay $99 million to Lehman Brothers investors, but denied any responsibility for the resulting bankruptcy and investor losses. No one was ever prosecuted or jailed for the misuse of RIPO 105. As you all know, friends, strong internal audit can prevent such corporate frauds and failures. PwC, a global auditing company, audited the Satyam's records from June 2000 till the fraud was discovered. PwC was heavily criticized by several commentators for failing to spot the scam. PwC signed the Satyam's financial accounts and were legally accountable for the figures. The auditors did not appear to conduct independent verification with banks where Satyam claimed to hold deposits. Furthermore, the deception of the latest several years, including both balance sheet and income expenditure falsification. Satyam simply generated fictional sources whenever it required extra money to fulfill analyst projections, and it did it several times without the auditor even noticing the deception. Internal audit can be the first line of defense that can rely on and can be used as a shield to prevent and detect fraud. The cases of collapse of Satyam or such cases of material failure or errors as admitted in financial reporting in the case of Go Mechanic could have been averted or at least forewarned, means we could have got early indications. His strong internal audit mechanisms was in place. Increasingly considered as high value added services, internal audit for the board of directors and also statutory auditors and management at all levels. So this is again one illustration where an auditor could have played an important role. I'm not getting into detail. Another question at some times can be, can human auditors be replaced by AI? Advances in technology and adoption of AI in the field of audit will enhance the efficiency and hence the quality of audit done. However, it is inconceivable for the job of internal auditors to be replaced completely by AI. An auditor's judgment, experience, and sector knowledge always remain very, very important. Simpler tasks, however, such as collection of audit evidence through samples, reviewing the contracts, and detection of irregularities in documents can be replaced by machines which are equipped by AI. Bringing up rare, human auditors will still dominate the audit processes in the upcoming years, and AI technology will empower and enable them to make key judgments and deliver high-quality audits despite the exploding data and ubiquitous information. In the long run, internal auditors are going to be constrained to work jointly with AI by interpreting and communicating the results provided by AI to all the stakeholders. According to Deloitte, the concern of losing jobs because of AI is dismissed as the growth of recruitments in the audit field has grown exponentially by 2,000 people. It was concluded that the evolution in technology has recast the talent mix, the skill set, and professional development needs of the auditor has also evolved over a period of time. The following are the aspects that are going to bring about a shift in the AI function as a whole. Privacy compliance will be a key focus for internal audit. With the potential for more privacy regulations, internal audit will need to be focused or stay informed of these changes and develop a better understanding of potential privacy risks so that it can be more actively be involved in identifying compliance risks and establishing the appropriate controls to mitigate the risk. Artificial intelligence, AI, must start incorporating privacy considerations into its enterprise risk assessments and determine how equipped the organization is to respond to new regulations as well as sustain ongoing compliance. AI will need to educate board members on the steps which are taken to test organization's cybersecurity program to validate its effectiveness. Utilizing their knowledge of industry trends, risk management best practices, and business strategies, the AI team will recommend solutions to handle any detected risk before they become too large to address. Internal audit will play a key role in digital business transformation. To keep up with the needs of an increasing digital workplace, many organizations are going through digital transformation, implementing new technologies and processes to make the business more efficient. For example, intelligent automation such as robotic process automation is continuing to expand at a rapid pace and will play a key role in many businesses. However, while making significant data transformation changes, all areas of the organization will also be affected. As business processes are redesigned and getting automated, we will see the internal audit team will be involved in the executive management and also at the board level discussions. Despite the value-added tools such as robotic process automation, internal audit will need to help guide the company what controls are in place to monitor the performance of these tools, who will design and monitor those controls, what processes will be implemented to prevent unauthorized access to these new systems and their sensitive data. The drive for innovation within many organizations is forcing the internal audit profession to adopt and evolve at a rapid pace. And many internal auditors are struggling to keep up with these new changes. In today's business environment, internal auditors need to expand their abilities beyond traditional areas such as accounting, compliance, fraud, and finance. To support the business changes, many companies are already looking at internal auditors with expertise in areas such as data science, analytics, IT, cybersecurity, and also privacy. Upgrading audit infrastructure and technology advancement. Large companies, especially with complex internal audit requirements that span not just to financial audits, but also audits, assessments, inspection relating to operations, quality, safety, suppliers, and IT are now upgrading the technology infrastructure. Companies are migrating from the legacy systems, point applications, and paper-based procedure to a web-based integrated internal audit management system. Friends, artificial intelligence provides many benefits for internal auditing that include improving workflow and efficiency and minimizing risk and harm by identifying them sooner than later. AI can help auditors and financial professions by taking care of the tedious and time-consuming tasks, thus saving time and increasing productivity and efficiency. However, implementing AI can also present challenges, including data quality, security, technical expertise, and change of management. Organizations need to develop a clear strategy for implementing AI internally. In a quick and ever-changing technological world, AI is an effective tool being adopted quickly into many companies and organizations to improve the work environment and lives of many people all over the world every day. Every day, it shows further improvement and advancement. As you all know, friends, AI is the future. Once again, thank you so much for patient listening. And I would like to thank all the organizers. I would like to thank the chairman of the committee, the vice chairman, all the council members present here today. I would like to thank Mr. Kumar and all the participants present here for giving me this patient listening. Thank you very much.
Ji, we can take questions now from the members.
Yes, yes, sir.
Members, you are free to give your questions. Anyone? You are able to hear, Ji? No, I'm not able to hear the question. Anyone asking? Okay, no questions. Shall we wind up, Ji? Okay, friends. First of all, I would like to thank ICI and its chairman of this Board of Internal Auditing and Accounting for having selected you as the speaker today, because yours was an exhaustive approach to the internal audit and internal auditors. And actually, you have hit the nail beautifully by telling the future is artificial intelligence. You have taken us through a journey right from 1940 to the present, as how the audit was mundane at those times. We were only reporting the financial transactions and just reporting to the management. But now you have said our report should be to the management, to the shareholders, as well as to the government. So you have told specifically that the independence of auditors, internal auditors, is very, very important. At the same time, you have also said that artificial intelligence has to be learned and it has to be analyzed by the internal auditor as to whether it fits to a certain business, and because the artificial intelligence varies from business to business. So he has to discuss with the management and say whether the artificial intelligence used, the machines used, is apt for the business. But ultimately, the artificial intelligence should be in control of the internal auditor, because the machines can't be arrested. Only the internal auditor will be arrested if any falsification happens. You have also told the various opportunities given to the internal auditors, the various job opportunities in different places, so that internal auditors can be, whenever the opportunity comes, he can grab it. But you have beautifully said that we have to forget and throw the old practices and update ourselves with the artificial intelligence because artificial intelligence is the only future for us. Thank you, Dilip Shahji. That was a very excellent and exhaustive speech given by you. I once again thank our chairman, Jay, for this opportunity. Thank the technical support, Mr. Vinuji and Arun Agrawal, and also the secretary who has coordinated all this program today. Thank you. Thank you, Ji. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your kind words, sir. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you.